Alright, so I just got to the farm. This is going to be a very weird intro, but I'm about to go meet Tango for the first time and see Sugarfoot for the first time in 3 months, I believe. I just got back from college last night around 8 o'clock, and I'm super excited to be here, so let's go meet Tango. So Tango is my 2-year-old miniature miniature stallion. I just got him about 2.5 months ago, so this is the first time that I'm actually seeing him. Sugars is right here next to me. But Tango, he's 2 years old. I got him 2 months ago when I was at college, so first time meeting him. He is around 30 inches. I won't be able to get to measure him for quite a while. So he is unhandled, so the halter that he has on right now has been on him since we've gotten him, and probably since he's been a yearling, so it's probably been about over a year since he's kept that halter on. So today we are going to try and take the halter off. I'm going to bring him into the stall. So we're going to have our first training session today. I'm going to be teaching him clicker training. I'm super excited. Now I have to catch him, which will be the interesting part. So I'm heading back to my car now to go grab everything that I need to train him, and we will get into further detail what I'm going to be using training wise with him, because there's a lot of different things that we will be training with over the next couple of weeks while I'm here back in Florida for a winter break. So the first thing that I'm going to grab is his new halter. So this is a Star Point Horsemanship 4-knotted rope halter. We will get into depth with the Star Point Horsemanship, where I got it, who has it, and even the training methods that will be involved with it, because that's all I train with. So that's all I'm going to grab for right now. I will be coming back for some peppermint treats for when we start clicker training. My treat bag is in the front of the car, which I'll grab later on. I have a meeting that right now, they're pulling up right now, that we're doing a wedding this weekend, or this week on Thursday, it's Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna have their meeting now, and then we will get to training with Tango. So I decided not to show the clips of trying to catch Tango. It was about 20-25 minutes of video trying just to catch him, and the way that I had to bring him into the stall was by grabbing Sugarfoot and leading him into the barn and into this stall. And so that was just going to be way too much footage to add to this video. And so here I am in the stall with Tango. I was offering him treats to see what he would do, and he did bite me at one point during this. And so I decided to try and grab his halter to see just what he would do and his confidence level. And of course, when he booked it going around in the stall, he did lose a lot of confidence, and it took him a while to gain that back. As you can see, he is a very skittish horse. He's never been handled before, but my main concern was to get that halter off of him as soon as possible, and I'm glad that I was able to do it at the end of this clip. These on both sides of his cheek, the hair was all rubbed off, and so that is from the embedment of the halter. And so I did kind of force myself to be a little bit harsh on him to try and get that halter off. And I believe I grabbed the halter again right here. Yeah, so I tried to grab the top of his halter at the pole and slide it over, and of course that did not happen. And so he's in the corner right now. I believe this is where I just try and, yeah, I give him some more treats, and I think I stood there for probably about a minute or so, rubbing him and ensuring him that I wasn't going to hurt him in any way. And I apologize if there's any silence in this video. I'm also evaluating the video as I go to try and explain the best I can of what I'm doing. So I'm still rubbing him. I was just trying to gain his confidence, hoping that he will let me grab the halter again. And I believe that I tried to grab it again and he pulls away. I'm not too sure, yes. And so as you can see, I'm able to rub his head, which is awesome. That was a big accomplishment for him to actually let me touch him. But he's still head shy, and it's going to take him time to let me actually touch him all over. I don't have it on clip, but I tried to pick up his hoof and he did try and bite at me. So I'm not too worried if he turns his butt towards me. He hasn't offered to kick at all, so I wasn't too worried. Unlike Sugarfoot, when I was training him many years ago, he liked to kick. And so Tango's in the corner, and I tried to avoid trapping him in the corner, just because he's a stallion. Okay, so I was able to pull his halter off now, and so why I don't like these halters is because the horse can pull against them, and I did end up throwing this halter out when I was done with our training session of the day. And so the halter that I have is a Starpoint Horsemanship 4-knotted rope halter by Lana Greeny. And so, sorry, Lana Greevy, I'm very sorry. I said that wrong in the video also. But those halters, because they have the 4 knots, the horse is able to release to the pressure of the halter. And so, after I got the halter off, I gave Tango a few minutes off to calm down, and we continued. Alright, and we are back. So, we just got Tango's halter, or nylon halter, off, and now we're going to put on his new halter. The halter that I'm going to be using, the halter that I'm going to be using is a Starpoint Horsemanship 4-knotted halter, well, yes, rope halter. And so what this does is that when it's on the horse, each of the knots are on his cheek sides and his, basically where his nose is. And so what this is going to do is give me the leverage on controlling his head instead of the halter that he just had on where he could pull against it and he's not getting that pressure and release. And so I'm going to take the time now to hopefully get it on him. I know getting his old halter off was kind of traumatizing to him, so I'm going to take the time to actually start his training, gain his trust, and we'll go from there. So I'm just gonna let him walk up to me. I just, for the few minutes that I was giving him a break, I refilled my treat bag. It's just a fanny pack. I bought it at Walmart. So just fill this up with treats. These are a little bit big, so you'll probably see me munching on them and trying to break them apart, if I can, or whether with my hands, like that. So I don't know. He has taken these from my hand from the past couple of minutes, so I do know that he does like peppermint treats. So these are the Nana Pro peppermint wafers. Tractor Supply has them out on sale right now, so I decided to buy two 20-pound bags of them. So we are good with training treats for a while. So I'm just gonna let him come up to me. Maybe he's eating the treats, so that is a good thing. I'm normally trying not to make eye contact with him, and it can just intimidate a horse. So if I look away or I'm looking down or not at the camera, it's just because I'm doing that. I'm trying to speak softly too, just so that I don't scare him. That's Sugarfoot. We will be seeing Sugarfoot in more videos soon, once we have some training on Tango. So this is just the first step on it, of removing his halter, and we're going to be putting his new halter on. So it's more of just gaining trust and stuff like that. This is my first time working with him. I'm just trying to take a step over, if you will. I don't really want to move towards him right now, just because I was going after him trying to get his halter off. So now I want him to come to me. Where he is moving his weight towards me, but not taking that step, and he just did take a step. So I'm going to reward him for that. And I don't have my clicker right now. I want to make sure that I have his halter on, so if he does pull away, I can still be there to reward him. I'm just going to take a step back right now and see what he does. Or he knows that I have treats with me right now, so normally I wouldn't use treats as much during training, but this is just one of the ways of gaining trust with a horse, is by treating them and stuff like that. Getting them. Okay, he just took 2 steps forward. I'm going to reward him for that. And he'll still continue to back up when I give him a treat, but if he does move towards me, that is a good thing. I'm just going to step to the side. I do want him to keep his face or his head towards me, almost like moving the hindquarters. There. Now these treats that I'm giving him are a little bit big. Normally I would use the other Nana Pro peppermint treats. They're a lot smaller than these. They're about the same size if we break them in half, but I prefer using smaller treats for rewarding. I just want to see if he'll move. Yep, there we go. I want to see if he's going to move his hindquarters away. I don't want him to move towards me, so don't want to get kicked. I know when I was trying to get his halter off, he was turning his butt towards me, but I'm not too worried about him kicking me. So he is now taking the treats a little bit faster, so I'm going to step towards him. Still not going to look at him. He's backing up, so I'm still in camera angle. I'm going to move around this way. There we go. going to try and turn away. This would be something that we would do during join up, where if they gained your trust, they will come up and walk behind you. It's just a sign of respect. Something we will do very soon is start target training. So he doesn't know what that means yet. I don't want to keep giving him treats, but I'm going to slowly, I don't fall over, walk back towards him, just see what he'll do, and he'll let me. Excuse me one moment. I have to move this bucket out of my way. This is my horse Parker's stall, so he's my riding horse. We'll see him in a few videos also once we do more advanced training with Tango. Not much that advanced, but more advanced than this. Okay. Just gonna reach back, pet him. He is now looking for, smelling my hand, trying to not nip at it, but try and see if there's treats. Sugarfoot does the same thing with me. Very good sign. I am able to pet his head quite quickly. There you go. Normally, since Tango will be trained for therapy, I normally wouldn't give horses treats by hand. This is just the beginning steps, and I can retrain him later on once he has the basic groundwork before we start training for therapy, to not receive rewards by hand but by bucket or waiting and looking away to earn that reward. Now Sugars is out there whinnying. He misses his buddy, so I can see Tango's starting very, very slowly to gain my trust. He's letting me pet his head, but he's still backing up, so I will stand here for a few more minutes with him, and this will probably be fast forward through. Alright, so the lead that I grabbed is actually a 13-foot lunge line. This is also from Starpoint Horsemanship. So what I'm going to try and do is just get this around his neck. If he pulls away, and I do have this around his neck, I'll be able to keep him towards me. Now, he'll probably try and back away. No, he does keep trying to go to my hand, see if I have treats, which I do want to discourage that very soon. So I'm trying not to. I'm not doing that right now, just because he does not know, and he's not really halter broke yet. Now, with me just standing here trying to get his halter on, I could already know that he has no training on him whatsoever. Normally if I wish I was in a smaller space, but this is good enough. Now, he does not know what this is. When he came to me, his halter had a lead rope on it that he just dragged around with him, which is very dangerous. And so my mom was able to take that off about a month ago when she was able to grab him in a way. And so he doesn't have any training. And I just want to get this halter on so I can start leading with him. So I might become a little bit aggressive with trying to grab him, but I do want to get this on him so we can start his training with discipline and respect. So what I'm actually going to try and do with the lunge line is, let me just close this up because I'm about to start moving around quite a bit, but I'm going to latch it together like this and try and get it over his neck. I have done this before with a 2-month-old filly that I halter broke this summer, and so I was able to halter break her in about a week. I'm just going to go very slowly right now. I do see him kind of tensing and wanting to back up. Might actually widen this just a little bit more so if he does try and go back, I can hopefully bring it over his head quite quickly and gain control, or a little bit of control over him. That's where I already know once I get this around him, he will start probably running in circles around me. Alright, well, it's on him. He's in the corner right now. I'm going to kind of loosen, tighten this just a little bit, not too tight, just that it's around his neck. I'm going to, so this is a method that I've seen from Clinton Anderson. I know a lot of people do have mixed feelings about his training, and I do too. Some of them I don't agree with, but like halter training, I know it's in his rescue horse training guide on YouTube that I've watched many times. And that's one method that I do agree with, trying to get the halter on and having the lead rope around their neck and pulling them towards you to let them know that it's there, they can't run away. And so, which we'll be using other Clinton Anderson type methods, but I do also have other trainers training methods from other trainers that I will be using. A lot of them, like leading, more groundwork, are by Lana Greavy from Lana Greavy, who is the owner of Starpoint Horsemanship. And so a lot of her methods I've used on Sugarfoot to train him for therapy. So it also, I don't know if I will say his name correctly, Warwick Schriller, if I said that correctly, I'm sorry. I've used a lot of his methods too, training all types of horses. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of go around Tango. Sure, it's actually kind of good that he is keeping his head towards me. He is moving his hindquarters away, which we will get into that more in another video. So I'm just going to throw this over my shoulder. Now if he does pull away, it's not going to choke me, as I can grab it right here and pull it away or it'll just come over. I've done this with all kinds of horses. I'm just going to step towards him. I'm just going to pull him just towards me just so that he's here. He's responding to this pressure around his neck, so it's good. So I just put a little bit more there. And with training horses, it's all about pressure and release. If I want him to come forward, I'm not choking him or anything like that. As you can see, I did just take a step forward, so I'm going to release that. Now I'm going to come to the side of him. He might shoot back or to the side. Yeah, he's going back, so I'm going to bring him up, take a step or two. I'm going to pull him again a little. Now, normally with babies, I would actually put a lead rope around them, like with the 2-month-old filly that I trained. She was also a miniature horse, so she was tiny. So normally I would do that method, but because he's already 2.5 years old, I'm pretty sure mostly grown. I don't know how tall his parents were, but he should stay around his 30 inches. So I'm not going to be doing that method as he is a lot stronger. And if I do that method, I could get hurt. I'm not too worried about him. Of course, he could slip in here, so could be a little bit of a worry for him, but it's more of me, as he's a very strong mini, and most people don't think they are, but they are. I don't know if I'm in the camera. Okay. And he just tightened the rope and he's in the corner, so I'm just gonna bring him again over towards me. He did tighten the rope just there when he moved. So just gonna try and make sure that I don't choke him out today. So I want to get him out of the corner because he is a stallion. I don't want him to become aggressive towards me. So I'm trying to keep him as much as possible in the center of the stall. Now he is responding very well, so it's a good thing. He is still a little bit worried about my hand being near his face and being on that side, which I'm not surprised if he's not trained. Normally I would take the time to... I know. Normally I would take the time to just stand here and rub on him, but his halter does need to go on because he will be returned back out into the paddock, but he is already a 2-year-old, so he is way behind on training, and I do want to progress his training a little bit faster than I would do with a baby. So once the sensitizing and that comes around, then we will go slower with it, because every horse is different. With the 2-month-old filly, I didn't get to desensitize her to anything, but she was with a gelding, her mom and another gelding when they were here, and I was working with desensitizing with a plastic bag with the gelding in the round pen, and he actually charged that at the plastic bag a couple times when we were working, and so every horse is different. That gelding charged, it would be aggression mostly, but aggression comes with fear, so most horses, well, all horses, when they're working with desensitization, is fearful, but Sugarfoot, he just likes to run. back in the corner, but I'm right here. I'm not gonna immediately try and put my hand around his neck. Now I know you guys probably can't see me, but he's in the corner. I'm petting his neck right now. He did just lower his head, which is really awesome, which is a sign of relaxation, or he's just looking for hay. But he is just standing here. He did put his neck down all the way to the bedding. So what I'm going to try and do right now is slowly move towards him. He might just take off back into the camera shot. I'm going to slowly reach my hand around him, just rubbing him. I'm going to drop the zero. Alright, so I have this noseband on right now. Okay, I just put the halter, right now I'm tying it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach for the lunge line that's around his neck. I'm hoping that it doesn't move. I just took my hand off. And I'm going to clip it on to the halter. Alright, so I know you guys probably missed that. I will record it many more times through this, but the halter is now on him. So I'm just going to, hopefully if he'll let me, I'm just going to slowly, okay, not slowly, but kind of just adjust the halter around him. It is on. It does fit actually very nicely on him. So I'm just going to walk him up and show you guys. Come here. So the halter is now on him, which is awesome. So now that it's on him, I'm going to take him out of these stalls since now I have control over them. Alright, so now we're out in the aisle with him. I'm just going to bring him here. So now that we have him out here, I'm just going to show you guys what the halter's supposed to look like on him. As I said, it's a 4-knotted halter. So there's 2 knots on the side of his cheeks. I know he's not going to let me touch him there. And then there's 2 right where his nasal bone is. And that's going to be able to give me leverage on where he goes. So I would go out into the arena right now, but it's raining, so thank you, Florida. It's raining, like always, during winter or fall, whatever season it is. It's always summer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and approach him if I can get him. If I can do it. Tango, here we go. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is, I know he's facing you guys, but I was going to come up to the side of him, but he doesn't trust me with that yet. So what I'm going to do is hope he doesn't act like a stallion right now. I know he's not going to go anywhere with leveraging his halter. I'm able to control him. Yes. So instead of going to the side of him, I'm going to be doing a different method. And this is a method by Lana Greavy with the hind quarter control, so getting them to face you. This is in her foundation training method with her little baby Eclipse. And so I saw this method a couple weeks ago on YouTube, and since I didn't know how Tango was going to react, method would be as an option. And so this is probably the method that I'm going to have to go with because he had no formal training and he's basically scared of everything. So I'm probably going to end this video now because he's not going to be letting me do the training that I was hoping to do, which would be more advanced to basic groundwork with him. And so the next groundwork that we will be doing will be for Lana Greavy's foundational training method. And so I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch those videos to get myself more known with it to do it correctly. Yeah, I know. So he is very impatient. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this was like a little bit chaotic, but normally I don't record myself doing these types of videos, so it's a learning experience for myself and will be a learning experience for Tango, who I hope I can get back into the angle one more time without spooking. So thank you.